Moving to BrightPay's cloud payroll solution is a very quick and easy process, and it can be done by following 3 simple steps, which I'm going to take you through now. So as you can see on screen, I'm on our BrightPay Cloud login page, and you can get here by going to the following URL. So it's brightpay.brightsg.com. And on this screen, we're going to see the option on the left-hand side to log into the 2025/26 version of BrightPay Cloud. And you'll also see a link below to sign up for a Bright ID. So if you don't already have a Bright ID, you can create one by following the link here. But if you're already using BrightPay Desktop and you have a license key, you more than likely have a Bright ID, and we're going to use that as our credentials to log in. So I'm going to click 25/26 login, and I'll be brought to the Bright ID login screen. So my Bright ID credentials are already in, so I'm going to hit sign in here. So as I mentioned before, there's 3 steps we need to take to move over to BrightPay Cloud, and the first step is to create an organization. So an organization is where employers, team members, and billing are managed. So I'm going to click Create Organization, and I'm going to pop my organization name in. Once that's in, I'll hit Next. Then I will enter the address, if you just bear with me while I do that. And once the address has been entered, we can hit Next. On the next screen, you'll see that we have 2 different billing plans, annual and monthly. So you'll need to select the one that's most applicable to you. In this case, I'm going to choose the annual option, and I have 1 employer and I have 20 employees. Once you're happy here, we'll hit Next. And then we'll be prompted to add a payment method. So to add the payment method, we click on the blue button, and we'll be prompted for our payment method information, whether it's say backs or credit transfer. And when that's added, we can then hit Next. Now we will hit Create Organization, and we're on to step 2. So step 2, add or import an employer. So we're interested in the import from Windows/Mac option, seeing as we've already been using BrightPay Desktop. So I'm going to click here, and you'll see a post-import checklist will be displayed on screen that you can review. Once you're happy with this information, we'll hit Next. And then we'll be prompted to select which organization we wish to import the employer into. And by default, the one we just created will be selected, which is perfect. And there's also an option here to make imported employers available to admin members of the organization only, which can be ticked or unticked as desired. Once you're happy on this screen, we'll hit Next. And now we're going to be prompted to select the data file that we wish to upload. If you don't know where your data file or data files are actually stored, we can open up BrightPay Desktop 25/26. And on the opening screen of BrightPay Desktop, if I hover over my company name, you'll see that the file path will actually be displayed on screen. So I can see that this is in my Documents folder and a subfolder called BrightPay. Alternatively, I can right-click on the file and browse the file location, and it's going to bring me directly to that folder that it's saved to. So now that I know where my employer file is saved to, I can go back into BrightPay Cloud, hit Select Data Files to Upload at the top, and then it was my Documents folder and a subfolder called BrightPay. And I can see the file here that I'm interested in importing. I would say to check this, the type, we want to make sure that we import the 25/26 version of the data file, not the 24/25 or 23/24, etc., as we've already processed payroll in the 25/26 tax year. Once I'm sure that's selected, I'll hit open, and we'll be prompted for the password now. So this is the same password that you would use on BrightPay Desktop to access the file. Once I enter that, press OK. The import's going to start. And as you can see, it's a very quick import process. When it's completed, it'll be highlighted in green, and then we can hit close on the bottom right. And now we're on to step 3, process your first payroll. So I can click Open Employer, and current users of BrightPay Desktop, This screen should look very familiar to everyone. So as you can see, this company has a weekly and monthly payroll, and all of the weeks I've already processed within this tax year and the first month is already still finalized, and I can go back into any of those periods to view the information, get pay slips, reports, etc. If I click into the current month's payroll and into an employee, you can see all their payment information is still here as it was. Another employee here. As you can see on this employee, they're actually on maternity leave and their SMP payment has come through as well. So all the stuff that was on the payroll menu on BrightPay Desktop will be here as well, pension schemes, etc. Just to dive a little further then into the employee details, if I go to the employees menu at the top of the screen, I'm just going to pick an employee from the left-hand side, and I can go into any of these tabs. So you can see personal, all this information is coming over, employment, works number, departments, annual leave settings, working days, starter leaver, payment, hourly rates, daily rates, bank details, tax NIC, RTI information, all coming over, and even the HR tab. So any additional information I have in here will come over as well. If I go into the calendar button at the top of the screen, this is actually the employee that's on maternity leave at the moment, and I can see those dates have transferred over as well. If I go back a month, I can see that employee took, say, unpaid leave in March and also annual leave. So any leave that's entered in the calendar is also going to come through into BrightPay Cloud. Automatic enrollment menu, the enrollment status, date and scheme that the employee is enrolled into will still be here. Any attachment orders we may have, they will transfer over also. Expenses and benefits, the exact same. If I go into the employer menu at the top, you can see in edit employer details, all this information is coming through as well. Employer calendar, any kind of dates that were entered there, they'll still be present here as well. Departments come over, hourly rates come over, daily rates, piece rates, additions, deductions, saving schemes, bank accounts. In the HMRC menu, we can see that any of the information that was already entered on this menu has come over. So the amount that was due, the amount that was paid, and the dates and stuff. It's all here for us too. RTI menu, any FPS, EPS submissions, etc. that we may have sent already in the tax year, they're still here for us to view. And in the pensions menu, any schemes that we had set up on the desktop version, they're still here, along with any enrollments or contribution summaries that have already been sent. If I go into the analysis menu where all the reporting is done from, if I had any custom reports set up on BrightPay Desktop, they'll still be present here for me also. So control summary and custom report, they're two custom reports that I had set up on the desktop version, and they're still present here within BrightPay Cloud after I've moved over. So as you can see, it's a very, very comprehensive list of data that's coming over in the import. There are two bits of information that we will need to re-enter. If I click on the settings cogwheel in the top right hand corner just beside my initials, the second last option here, gateway credentials, your HMRC gateway credentials, they'll need to be re-added here to send your RTI submissions, EPSs, get coding notices, etc. And then also the Nest credentials. So if Nest is your pension provider, we will need to re-add those credentials here as they're not coming across on the import. Just before I wrap it up, I'm just going to have a look on the top right, this question mark option, help and support. If I click here, you can see our support phone number, email address, our support opening hours, and there's also some handy links here at the bottom for product documentation, video tutorials, webinars, guides and white papers. So that's about it when it comes to moving over from BrightPay Desktop to BrightPay Cloud. I hope that was helpful.